Coming up from the second Masters of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2019 season in Chengdu, the home of the world's cutest pandas. We sit down with Team Edmonton's Kyle Landry, who opens up about his transition into 3x3 and discusses the new team's stellar start on the World Tour. Robbie Hummel talks about being selected to USA Basketball's World Cup team and whether it had an impact on Princeton's chemistry. And Novi Sad's bearded warrior Marco Zadero provides insight into his defensive skills and reflects on a brilliant career. Plus, you know you gotta stay tuned to the end of the magazine. We got a top 5 plays that you cannot miss. It's quick, it's epic, it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of FIBA 3x3 basketball, a game played with non-stop music on a half court with 2 teams of 3 players aiming to hit 21 points before 10 minutes of game time is up. Previously at the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, we crowned a new champion in Doha after Riga Ghetto finally broke through to get their first ever Masters victory. The Latvians proved too much for rival Lehman in a tense final with high flyer Carlos Lasmanis winning MVP. Can Flight KLM and Riga Ghetto continue to sit on 3x3's throne? Or will Lehman and Novi Sad, whose insane 35-game win streak was snapped in Doha, by the way, strike back harder than that dude that knocked out Anthony Joshua? Let's find out. It was a 2-horse race for much of last year, but the World Tour here in 2019, it's different. It's become more unpredictable than a Kardashian relationship. On day 1, things continue to be crazy. Edmonton may be the new kids on the block, but they've been balling, and they did not get stage fright in their Masters debut against Chengdu. Jermaine Buckner was all over the court and had more energy than a can of Red Bull. His defense was just plain nasty, but Buck also showed off his potent offensive game inside and outside as he quickly called game to silence the home fans. But Edmonton were just warming up. Next up was last year's World Tour champs Novi Sad, who they had lost to in the final of the recent P-Name Challenger. Buckner was again sizzling with 2 pieces from another postcode, but you knew the world number 1s would respond. Thomas Evoser proved the bank was open in Chengdu on Saturday as the teams traded shots to set up a thrilling finish. Jordan Jensen-White became the most beloved player in Canada since Kawhi Leonard when he hit the tough J as the number 8 seed Edmonton won a classic 17-16. Not to be outdone, 6 seeds Gagarin can run hot or cold, but day 1, they was burning like a shot of vodka. The Russians thrashed West Melbourne stateside from Australia 21-9 with tricks like they were in the Moscow Circus. Gagarin proved to be the real deal with an upset victory over Riga Ghetto. Dmitry Cheburkin went boom as Gagarin came out of the block like Usain Bolt at the Olympics. Lasmanis caught his usual flight, but he was cold otherwise, and the Russians gained control. With young stud Alexander Zverev grooving around the rim, Gagarin pulled off an impressive 18-16 victory to top Pool C. The twist continued like a Stephen King novel, as number 2 seeds Lehman also lost on the opening day. They couldn't recover from a slow start against Ljubljana as the Iceman Yasmin Hercegovac provided some cool relief in the humidity with some sweet J's. Lehman predictably fought hard, but Zelimir Zagorac wrestled back control by dominating the paint as he helped cover up an injury to big man Blaz Schreiner. Ljubljana won 20-18 to top Pool B. Pool D was tighter than Jennifer Lopez's jeans. After Princeton was shocked by qualifier Dnipro, it all came down to the final game of day 1 between the Americans and Amsterdam. There was little between them until Robbie Hummel went bang-bang from downtown to secure Princeton's spot in the knockout round. Even though they fell short, Amsterdam qualified by just 1 point over the unlucky Dnipro. What an unbelievable day 1 in Chengdu. All top 5 seeds lost one game on Saturday, and yet all of them survived to the pool phase. Meantime, see you later, Dnipro, Auckland, West Melbourne stateside, and Chinese teams Chengdu, Beijing, and Lufeng. Edmonton have made a big impression in their first season on the World Tour. The Canadian team is a result of a split from Team Saskatoon and are led by sharpshooter Steve Sir, who recruited close friend Kyle Landry in the 3x3.
Steve played with those guys for a bunch of years, and he's very grateful to them because they're the ones that really got him into 3x3. And I think the biggest problem was just the distance between Saskatoon and Edmonton, where Steve lives. Me and Steve Sir, we go a long ways back. We've known each other for about 15 years now. We played college basketball together, and we've stayed really close friends over the years. So Steve and I talked, and we decided that we'd start working on our own team, form our own team, and that's kind of how Team Edmonton came to be.
Edmonton have developed chemistry real quick and tasted success at the Nanjing Challenger. They also finished runners-up to Novi Sad at the Penang Challenger.
Our chemistry is definitely one of our big attributes. We enjoy spending time together, we enjoy talking together, game planning, and kind of figuring out what to do. I think I was a little surprised how we've done so far. It's how we hoped to do, but you always kind of expect maybe a little hiccup here or there where we don't perform quite as well, because it's just the beginning for us, and a lot of these teams have been playing 3x3 for a couple of years now, and they just understand the game better. They just have a better feel for the game. But it's definitely been a great start, and we really hope to build on that.
Learning on the fly, the Pau Gasol Canadian doppelganger has come to appreciate the level of teamwork required for 3x3.
Everyone has to be involved. You can't just have one player do all the work. Just because it's too physically demanding when you play only 10 minutes or to 21 points, it's very fast-paced, so it'd be too much just for one player to do everything. Everyone has to contribute in some way, and everyone has to be able to score.
After such a successful start, hopes are high for Edmonton to quickly move up the ranks on the World Tour.
We all have great resumes, and we're all very skilled, and as the year goes on, we plan to improve, and we feel we can win a lot of tournaments, and we can make a name for ourselves.
All right, so here's a look at your quarterfinal bracket with the top 8 seeds making it through. First up, can Edmonton continue their fairy tale Masters debut by beating Doha champs Riga Ghetto? Edmonton started well with Steve Sir splashing to underline his team's confidence. But Riga, they got the heart of a champion and quickly roared back into the contest with Norris Miezis putting his foot on the gas. It was a face-off between Sir and Miezis in this high-quality contest that had fans hollering like they were at Tomorrowland. Feeling left out, Carlos Lasmanis stepped up with the two-piece and the dunk as Riga Ghetto edged ahead. The emotionally charged teams were giving it they all, but they couldn't split it in regulation. Kyle Landry scored first in the extra period, but Miezis, this time, called game with a bomb from downtown to trigger scenes of jubilation for Riga Ghetto. It was heartbreak, meantime, for Edmonton, who had come into the tournament as one of the hottest teams on the World Tour.
Everyone knows that Steve Sir is the main guy in this team, and we need to stop him. Maybe we stopped, but main goal was the win, and that's all.
There was no time to even catch your breath with Princeton, the last hope for North America, but they faced a tough ask against mighty Lehman. Princeton found themselves in an early hole before always passionate Dan Mavridis tried to will his team back into the game. But Mihailo Vasic turned into the Incredible Hulk. Dude played bully ball inside to reestablish Lehman's dominance. When a dancing Stepan Kojic hit that nasty step back, Lehman led 14-5, and the game seemed done. But Kareem Maddox had other ideas as Reem finished with the cream and then got wet from deep to get Princeton within 4. They wouldn't get any closer, though, with Maxim Kovacevic snuffing out the challenge with the layup as Lehman skipped away to a comfortable 21-14 win.
It was a great game for us. From the beginning of the game, we know what we had to do. We knew that their pick and roll defense is not great, so we run pick and roll a lot, and I think this game we ran to the perfection.
Ljubljana were one of the best performed teams on day one, but their optimism nosedived with the withdrawal of injured big man Blaž Šrenar. Against Amsterdam, the Slovenians fought bravely to keep in touch, but it wasn't long before the Dutch took full advantage. Without Birdman patrolling the paint, DeMeo Vanderhorst was all money around the rim. He heated up from deep too, as the Dutch closed in on a straight thrashing. Finally, it was that man again, Vanderhorst, as he closed out Amsterdam's 22-15 victory and finished with a game-high 12 points.
We knew he was not going to play, so we went really hard, and in the end it paid off.
Gagarin had also been one of the hottest teams day one, and they were confident they could take it right to world number one Novi Sad. It was going to script for the Russians, with Daniil Abramovsky banking it home like he was a teller, and a Dmitry Birkin slam gave Gagarin a 7-3 lead. Novi Sad's precise and flowing game was off, but they roared back anyway into the game using defense. Thomas Ivosev led the way with his own block party, and finally the Serbs started to roll on. Dejan Majstorovic and Marko Savic found their groove from deep, and this thing was a wrap. You come at the Kings, you bet not miss, Gagarin.
We are happy that we win, but our game were terrible. If we don't get with enough energy, that we don't need to play at all.
The shootout contest. This is the moment we crown the best sniper in the whole tournament. The final sees 4 players hit 15 shots worth 1 point from 3 destinations around the arc, and 3 money balls worth 2 points from the 3x3 logo. And to spice things up a bit, 5,000 USD are on the table for whoever beats the all-time record of 15 points, and 10 bands for whoever goes blackjack and scores all 21. Let me tell you, the contestants, they brought it from the very beginning in this contest, with Dwayne Lathan from Lufang getting things rolling nicely with 12 points, a score matched by Dejan Majstorovic, of course the all-time record holder. Often, that's going to be a score good enough to win, but it would not be nearly enough on this historic night. Steve Kerr from Edmonton had the cheat code or something. He drained 11 of his first 12 shots. Victory was a formality at that point. The interest was now on whether or not he could beat the Maestro's historic landmark. And the answer to that was yes, sir. With an incredible 17 points, shooting the ball outdoors under time pressure with 3 shots from 1 meter behind the line, Steve Kerr, your shootout winner of the Chengdu Masters contest. Robbie Hummel has had an accomplished playing career, which includes stints in the NBA and EuroLeague. But it was a learning experience last year when he made his debut on the 3x3 World Tour. Having a taste, Hummel hopes to lead Princeton's charge this season and help end the dominance of the Eastern European squads.
We got second in Nanjing, and we had a lot of success last year. We won a couple challengers. We were close in a number of World Tour events where we thought we had chances and maybe let some things slip away. But right now, this is an Eastern European dominated game. You look at Riga, you look at Novi Sad, you look at Liman, you look at the best teams in the world. They come from that part, and that's a credit to them. But I think we're definitely hungry to break the drought, and I think we're all cognizant of the fact that we haven't won one in quite some time.
Selected to the USA's World Cup squad alongside teammate Kareem Maddox, Hummel is excited about the showpiece event in Amsterdam and is adamant that Princeton's team spirit has not been affected.
I think that we knew going into this that this was always a possibility, that we could be split up for this World Cup. Myself and Kareem, and then Briante Weber and Kenyon Barry, we haven't played a whole lot together. It's going to be a quick learning process, and we're going to get together in New York and have some time to practice and then play in France before we head to Amsterdam. So I think we're looking forward to the challenge. We have a lot of talent. We got 2 guys that play professionally year-round, so I think that that's definitely encouraging, and we'll see kind of what they like and dislike, and I think it's something that can be adjusted. But I will say that everybody has been incredibly supportive, and if it was Craig and Dan or Zaire and Damon or whoever, I think that everybody would be happy. It hasn't affected us at all, I don't think.
With the Tokyo Olympic Games just 1 year away, Hummel thinks more traditional basketball powerhouses are going to be attracted by 3x3.
You would think that Spain, Turkey, France, those are traditional powerhouses in terms of European basketball, and you just don't see a whole lot of teams from there. I think with the way 5-on-5 has gone, it might make sense just because the United States has been such a power since '92 with the Dream Team. Maybe some of those countries that have been close but haven't been able to get over the hump start to put more resources into 3-on-3. Some professional players would look at this and say this game is maybe a little too physical, especially coming from 5-on-5, because it's refereed a lot differently, and that's okay. But I think the Olympics will be a huge proving ground and also maybe a big turning point for the sport for those countries.
It's time for them rims to start shaking. The dunk contest, baby. And they always do when Kristaps Dargais is around. There's good reason why the Latvian's nicknamed Thor. He was the favorite ahead of young Australian sensation Brody Stevens and local hopeful Yi-Sean Zhang. Dargais started with trademark power to kick off the dunk contest, but disaster struck when he couldn't complete a slam on his next attempt. That meant a shock early exit for Thor. Oh no! Zhang had the crowd humming with the best semifinal dunk, a sick reverse flush over 3 brave volunteers. With Dargais eliminated, it was time to crown a new champ in the final. Zhang had the early edge after pulling off a spectacular reverse slam, semi-scorpion, over Stevens.
Sean, he got higher than the sun.
The crowd could sense a triumph for their man, but Zhang played it safe on his next dunk, opening the door for the hungry Aussie. Stevens made him pay too, with a between-the-legs slam over Zhang, and then he closed it out with a crazy 360 between the legs, of course elevated by his kangaroo hops. Brody Stevens wins his first ever title and takes home the $2,500 check.
It's my first time winning in the FIBA stage. I've won a few contests before, but nothing like this.
The top 4 seeds make it through to the semifinals, highlighted by Riga Ghetto and Lehman continuing their rivalry. Riga's dominated Lehman in recent games, including memorably at the final of the Doha Masters. Carlos Lasmanis was keen to continue that dominance as he relentlessly attacked the basket. Stefan Koitz answered from deep as the score stayed tight. Another thrilling finish loomed. Come on, do we expect anything else? Kovacevic hit the 2-piece to close the margin within 2, but this is when heroes are made, y'all. Once again, it was Norris Miezis with ice in his veins as he drained back-to-back 2s to secure Riga's 21-15 victory. Quite clearly, Miezis, aka Robin, has been so much more than a sidekick in this tournament, and his heroics ensured Riga Ghetto has a chance to win back-to-back Masters.
We are playing hard, you know, and we keep fighting till the end, and this is main goal.
In the second semifinal, it was tight between Novi Sad and Amsterdam. The Serbs struggled to find their rhythm early, but pretty team passing ignited them. On the other end, Marco Zerdero was making things hard on Aaron Royer, but Amsterdam found a lift through the Flying Dutchman, Sjoerd van Wilsteren. Novi Sad lived for these tense moments, and Savage dropped a straight bomb to regain the lead 15-14. When it's money time, it's time for Dejan Majstorovic to stand up. The Maestro took over with a bank shot and 2-piece from the corner as Novi Sad had all the answers. A familiar script was unfolded until DeMeo Vanderhorst tried to rewrite it as he leveled the score at 18 apiece. But a calm Novi Sad went inside for reliable buckets, and Tomas Ivosev and Marko Savage responded to propel the world #1 on into the final.
We pushed the limit higher. I think that our game needs to be a little bit better to win the tournament.
Marco Zerdero has been the heart and soul of powerhouse Novi Sad through his renowned defense and hustle.
svako zna kakvu ima ulogu na terenu. I svi mi znamo šta od tog nekog možemo da očekujemo u svakom trenutku na terenu. Ja sam negde, baš iz tog razloga, što su i Dušan, i Dejan, pa i Marko jako dobri napadači, negde morao da nađem svoju ulogu u timu. Mislim da se to samo nekako nametnulo, mada negde u svojoj glavi, negde kako ja razmišljam, ja sam želeo da taj napad unapredim u bilo kom obliku, da pomognem ekipi kad njih trojicu ne ide, dešavalo se da imamo i takve dane, da ja negde iskočim sa svojim nekim dobrim stvarima, da dođemo do te pobede koju jako želimo.
Boasting one of the great 3x3 careers all time, Zdeno has had much success at the national level with Serbia, alongside his stellar achievements with Novi Sad as well.
To prvo svetsko prvenstvo 2012. godine u Atini, to će mi ostavilo jako veliki utisak na mene, pošto smo došli, bukvalno kako su nas i nazivali, po Novom Sadu sa ulice. Momci koji su negde košarkaški otpisani, da košarkaški u smislu profesionalne neke košarke. To osvajanje zlatne medalje za Srbiju bi jako drago. Posle toga, prošle godine, pogotovo što je prošla godina za mene bila onako turbulentna, gde smo odlučili da će Toma da se priključi timu, samim tim ja sam malo manje uključen u same turnire. Jeste Evropsko prvenstvo u Bukureštu koje nas je, negde smo imali pritisak i od strane ljudi oko nas, naših prijatelja. To nešto što nismo osvojili u karijerama, to jest kao tim. Ja sam tu negde video da je to možda i posljednja šansa za osvajanje zlatne medalje Evropskog prvenstva u tom rosteru za reprezentaciju, tako da za mene je to onako bilo jedno emotivno takmičenje.
This shaped up as an intriguing decider. The champs of 2018 against the 2019 trendsetters. Novi Sad were looking to return back to their winning ways, while Riga Ghetto, they wanted another statement-defining win. Agnes Tavares certainly made a statement as he shocked everybody with a thunderous drive and dunk that fired Riga up. You thought Novi Sad was rattled, though? You better think again. Zdeno and Savage stroked smoothly as Novi Sad skipped out to an 11-4 lead. Ivosev, meantime, continued to abuse in the post, and there appeared to be no stopping Novi Sad again. Riga needed a lift from Lasmanis, and he responded with an energetic layup. But every attempted comeback was halted by Novi Sad, with the maestro splashing from the corner, and the title was inevitable. Lasmanis kept trying, but his teammates looked tired. Fittingly, Majstorovic finished things off with the last 3 points en route to MVP as Novi Sad celebrated their first Masters title of the season.
To be champion is amazing, like always. We play against Riga again. Always against them is the tough game. They are one hell of the team. They are really amazing team, but we put the great effort. Team, we showed the character and we won the tournament. We are very happy.
All right, here we go. It's what y'all been waiting for, right? The creme de la creme of the Chengdu Masters. It's the top 5 plays. All right, we start with some flash from Edmonton. Tell me, what's better, the filthy pass from Jermaine Buckner or the towering throwdown from Kyle Landry? At number 4, Tomasz Ivosev showed off his hops with the emphatic rejection out of nowhere. Third on the list, Ivosev could do nothing about this one. Agnes Tavares got some fuel from Flight KLM and unloaded a filthy facial.
I didn't know Tavares had that in his bag. What?
Speaking of Flight KLM, Carlos Lasmanis comes in at number 2 after putting Kyle Landry in therapy following a give and go with Nars Miezis.
Ain't he just embarrassed Landry? He's gonna need a timeout and maybe some therapy.
Taking out the top spot, it's Alexander Antonikovsky with this nasty no-look pass finished off with authority by Dmitry Cheburkin. The third Masters of the season is going to be back July 7th and 8th from Mexico City, headlined by the world's 3 best teams, Novi Sad, Lehman, and Riga Ghetto. Remember, you can follow it live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.